Before this moment, Maya believed she'd escaped for good, but the father of her twin daughters just tracked her down, and he's already aware of their existence. Now Maya stands face to face with Dominic, the man she vowed never to see again, and the revelations waiting at that dinner table will shatter everything she thought she knew. The private dining room of the restaurant bathed in soft golden light, though the warmth seemed to stop at the threshold. Maya stood motionless, catching her reflection in the ceiling-high windows that overlooked Chicago's sparkling skyline. Behind her, the door clicked shut with the finality of a trap springing closed. Across the table, Dominic Reeves sat with the stillness of a hunting cat, his steel-gray eyes tracking her every movement. "Have a seat, Maya." His voice carried the smoothness of velvet wrapped around iron. She remained frozen. "I shouldn't have agreed to this." "But you did, because you understand we're beyond the point of hiding." He gestured toward the chair facing him. "Please, I had them prepare your favorite." "You don't know what I like." "Shrimp and grits with extra Cajun spice. You ordered it every Thursday evening in Portland from that little soul food place near the waterfront." His expression remained unchanged. "I know everything, Maya. The real question is when you'll stop pretending I don't." The statement landed like a bucket of ice water. 5 years of meticulously built distance, and he'd been watching from the darkness the entire time, a ghost she couldn't shake. Maya's legs finally carried her to the chair, not from desire but from sheer exhaustion. This conversation would reshape everything, and somewhere across the city, in a cramped apartment decorated with butterfly decals on the bedroom walls, her daughters slept peacefully, completely unaware that their world was about to tilt on its axis. The previous night, Maya had barely closed her eyes. She'd spent hours staring at the ceiling, listening to Riley's gentle breathing and Harper's sleepy mumbling, trying to prepare herself for this moment. What words do you offer a man who'd been a stranger, then a mistake, then a memory, and now demanded to be called father? How do you explain 5 years of silence? How do you justify keeping his children hidden when every maternal instinct screamed that she was shielding them? But as she'd watched dawn light creep across her bedroom ceiling, Maya had come to a realization. There were no perfect words. There was only truth, messy and complex and absolutely terrifying. Now, sitting across from Dominic in this restaurant that probably charged more for one meal than her entire month's rent, she forced herself to meet his penetrating stare. "Ask whatever you need to know." "Why did you disappear?" "Because I was terrified. Of you, of your world, of what I witnessed at that gathering, of the way people regarded you like you held the power of life and death in your hands." Maya's fingers twisted together in her lap. "I was pregnant and completely alone, and I knew that if I stayed, my child would be raised surrounded by violence. So I vanished." "Children," Dominic corrected quietly. "You were carrying our children, and you decided I didn't deserve to be informed." "You're right, I made that choice. Maybe I was wrong, or maybe I was protecting them the only way I understood." Her voice fractured. "Do you have any concept of what it's like to be alone in a hospital with twins being born and no one to hold your hand? To juggle 3 jobs because childcare costs exceed your income? To watch your daughters ask about their father and have to fabricate stories because the truth is too dangerous?" "No," Dominic's jaw tightened. "I don't know what any of that feels like because you didn't allow me the opportunity to be there. You left money and disappeared into thin air. What was I supposed to think?" "That I was keeping you safe." His control finally fractured, voice rising before he caught himself. He drew a breath, visibly collecting himself. "That night was complicated. There were people at that event who would have weaponized you against me if they'd known I cared. Leaving money was all I could do without painting a target on your back." "Well, congratulations. You painted one there anyway." Maya's laugh held no humor. "The velvet room burned to the ground 2 weeks later. Was that your version of protection?" Dominic's expression turned to granite. "That was my enemies. When they couldn't locate you to hurt me through you, they destroyed where you worked. It's one of countless reasons I've had people monitoring you ever since. Not to control you, Maya, to keep you breathing." The revelation hung between them like smoke. For 5 years, she'd believed she was invisible, building a new life. but she'd been in Dominic's orbit the entire time, connected to him whether she chose it or not. "The photographs," she whispered. "You said you watched them grow up through photographs." Dominic reached into his jacket and withdrew his phone. He scrolled briefly, then turned it toward her. The screen displayed an album titled simply My Girls. Hundreds of photographs. Maya pregnant, shopping for nursery furniture. The twins as newborns through a hospital window. Their first wobbly steps. First day of preschool. Birthday celebrations with dollar store decorations and homemade frosting. Tears burned Maya's eyes. "You were there this whole time." Never close enough to interfere. Never close enough to help. His voice carried a rawness she'd never heard. "Do you have any idea what that's like? Watching your children grow up like you're a specter, seeing them smile and laugh and knowing they don't know you exist." Maya said quietly. "They call you the king. I told them their father was a king in a distant kingdom who loved them tremendously but couldn't visit. They've been waiting for you their entire lives, Dominic." His hand trembled slightly as he set down the phone. For a moment, the dangerous man across from her looked simply shattered. "I want to meet them properly, not as your boss or a stranger, as their father." "And tell them what? That their father runs a criminal empire, that knowing him puts them in danger. That their father loves them, that he's sorry he wasn't there, that he'll spend the rest of his life earning their forgiveness." Dominic leaned forward. "I can't change what I am, Maya, but I can be better for them. I will be better for them." The conviction in his voice made something in Maya's chest crack open. This was the man she'd glimpsed that night 5 years ago, the one buried beneath ice and violence, the one who'd looked at her like she mattered. "There are conditions," she said finally. "Name them." "No criminal business around them ever. They don't meet your associates. They don't visit your offices. Whatever world you inhabit stays separate." "Agreed." "You don't make decisions about them without consulting me. I'm their mother. I've earned that right." "Agreed." "And if at any point I feel they're in danger because of you, we vanish again. And this time you won't find us." Dominic's eyes flashed, but he nodded slowly. "Agreed. Though I should warn you, Maya, my world doesn't respect boundaries. It has a way of finding people whether they want it or not. Keeping them safe means being smart, not running." "Then teach me to be smart, because I'm terrified, Dominic. Every moment of every day, I'm terrified someone will take them from me." "No one will take them." His voice dropped to something lethal. "I'll burn this entire city to ashes first." The words should have frightened her. Instead, they felt like a vow, dark and absolute. They ate in careful silence, the tension gradually easing into something almost normal. Dominic asked about the twins, their personalities, their favorite foods, their dreams. Maya found herself talking, the words flowing easier than expected. He listened with an intensity that made her nervous, memorizing every detail like sacred text. "Riley is quieter, more thoughtful," Maya said. "She loves books and drawing. Harper is my wild child, always asking questions, always moving. They balance each other." "They have your eyes," Dominic said softly. "In the photographs I could see it, your strength. They have your stubbornness, and your chin, Harper especially. She gets this expression when she's determined, and it's exactly like yours." A ghost of a smile touched his lips. "I want to meet them this weekend, somewhere neutral, a museum maybe, or a park." "The Children's Science Museum in Lincoln Park," Maya suggested. "Saturday afternoon. We'll tell them you're a friend from work for now." "Agreed," Dominic nodded, "but eventually they deserve the truth." "Eventually." Maya's phone buzzed, a text from her babysitter. "Girls are asleep, all good here." She showed Dominic the message. "I need to get home." "My driver will take you." "I can take the train, Dominic." His voice left no room for argument. "My driver will take you, and from now on, you don't travel alone at night. It's not safe." "Safe from what?" "From people who would hurt you to hurt me, from people who'd use you as leverage, from a world you didn't ask to be part of but are now, whether we like it or not." He stood, buttoning his jacket. "I've placed security on your building, discreetly. You won't notice them, but they're there." "Dominic." Non-negotiable. You and the girls are under my protection now. Get used to it. The ride home was silent, the city sliding past in neon streaks. Maya's mind spun with everything that had happened, everything that was coming. Saturday, Dominic would meet his daughters. And then what? How did you build a family out of fear and secrets and 5 years of absence? Her apartment was dark when she arrived. The babysitter left quietly, and Maya checked on the girls. They slept tangled together in Riley's bed, as they often did, a jumble of dark limbs and wild curls. Her heart squeezed painfully. Whatever happened next, she had to protect this. Had to keep them safe in a world that was rapidly spinning out of her control. Monday morning brought a different kind of danger. Sterling Industries' offices buzzed with barely suppressed gossip. Maya felt eyes following her as she walked to her desk, whispers dying as she passed. Marcus, her desk neighbor, leaned over conspiratorially. "You're the talk of the building," he murmured. "Why?" "Because Miss Chen and Director Reeves had a screaming match Friday night. The entire executive floor heard it, and this morning she's gone. Desk cleared, resignation submitted, everything." Marcus's eyes were wide. "People are saying it's because of you." Maya's stomach dropped. "That's ridiculous." "Is it? You've been in his office 3 times since you started, behind closed doors, and now his girlfriend of 2 years is suddenly gone." Marcus wasn't malicious, just gossipy. People are connecting dots. Before Maya could respond, her desk phone rang. "Miss Carter, Director Reeves would like to see you immediately, please." The receptionist's voice was coolly professional. The walk to the executive floor felt like a death march. Employees parted around her, their stares heavy with speculation. Miss Chen's desk sat empty, a stark reminder of how quickly lives could be upended in Dominic's orbit. Dominic's office was cold despite the afternoon sun streaming through the windows. He stood at his desk, expression unreadable. "Close the door." Maya obeyed, her pulse hammering. Marcus said Miss Chen resigned. "She didn't resign. I fired her." Dominic's voice was flat. "She overstepped boundaries that were made clear when she was hired. The decision is final." "People are talking. They think." "I don't care what they think. My personal life is none of their concern." He moved around the desk, closer. "But I do care about you being harassed. If anyone bothers you, you tell me immediately." "I can handle office gossip, Dominic." "This isn't office gossip. This is my world bleeding into yours, which is exactly what you were afraid of." His jaw tightened. "Miss Chen was investigating you. She found out about the twins. That's why she's gone." Maya's blood ran cold. What did she find? "Birth records, your address, their school." Dominic's eyes were dark with something dangerous. "She confronted me, made threats, so I eliminated the problem." "Eliminated?" "Fired, Maya, just fired." He exhaled slowly. "Though I wanted to do worse. No one threatens my family." The possessiveness in his voice sent shivers down her spine. "We're not your family. Not really." "You're the mother of my children. That makes you family whether you like it or not, and I protect what's mine." "I'm not yours." "Aren't you?" He was close now, too close. 5 years ago, you were mine for one night, and that night created 2 lives that bind us together permanently. So yes, Maya, you're mine. Get used to it. The words should have angered her. Instead, they made heat pool in her stomach, dangerous and unwelcome. "This is what I was afraid of. You being controlling, making decisions for me." "I'm being practical. My enemies now know you exist. They know about Riley and Harper. The only thing keeping you safe is everyone knowing that touching you means war." His voice dropped. "So let them gossip. Let them wonder. The more visible our connection, the more protected you are." Maya wanted to argue, but a horrible part of her recognized the logic. In Dominic's world, perception was armor. Being seen as his gave her a shield she couldn't create on her own. "Saturday," she said finally. 2:00, the Science Museum, don't be late." "I won't." Something softened in his expression. "Thank you, Maya, for this chance." She left his office with her heart in her throat, barely registering the stares that followed her back to her desk. Marcus opened his mouth to speak, but Maya silenced him with a look. She buried herself in spreadsheets and reports, trying to ignore the weight of the world pressing down on her shoulders. That evening, exhausted and overwhelmed, Maya trudged up the stairs to her apartment building. The elevator was broken again. At the third-floor landing, she nearly collided with her neighbor. "Whoa, careful," strong hands steadied her. Nathan smiled warmly, his arms full of grocery bags. "Long day." "You have no idea." Maya managed a tired smile. Nathan had moved in 2 months ago, just before she'd started at Sterling Industries. He was friendly without being pushy, helpful without being intrusive. The twins adored him. "Here, let me help." He shifted his bags to one arm and took hers before she could protest. "You look dead on your feet." They climbed together, Nathan chatting easily about his day. He was vague about his work, something in logistics, he'd said, but he kept strange hours. Maya had seen him leaving at odd times, always well-dressed, occasionally with a phone pressed to his ear, speaking rapid conversations she couldn't quite follow. "Uncle Nate!" Harper's delighted shriek greeted them as Maya unlocked her door. Both twins came running, wrapping themselves around Nathan's legs. The rest of the night was a blur of security teams, installation equipment, rapid conversations. Dominic insisted on staying, sleeping on Maya's couch despite her protests. She lay awake in her bedroom, listening to the twins breathe, trying to process everything. Nathan was Vincent Cross. The man who'd saved her was Dominic's enemy. Nothing was what it seemed. She was trapped between two dangerous men, both claiming to protect her, and she had no idea who to trust anymore. Morning brought fresh nightmares. Maya was getting the twins ready for school when a knock came at the door. Through the new peephole camera, she saw Vincent, standing in the hallway with a bag from their favorite bakery. "Don't answer it," Dominic said from behind her. He'd been on the phone all morning, coordinating something. But Maya opened the door, keeping the chain lock engaged. "What do you want?" Vincent's expression was carefully neutral. "To check on you, to make sure you're okay after last night." "We're fine, thank you for your concern." "Maya, please, I need to talk to you. About Dominic Reeves, about what he really is." "I know what he is." "Do you?" Vincent's eyes were intense. "Do you know about the people he's killed, the businesses he's destroyed, the lives he's ruined?" "Get away from my family." Dominic appeared behind Maya, his presence overwhelming. Vincent didn't move. "Your family, that's interesting, Dominic. Does she know everything about you? Does she know about the fire?" Maya's blood went cold. "What fire?" "The Velvet Room didn't burn by accident," Vincent said, his eyes never leaving Dominic's face. "It burned because Dominic ordered it, to flush you out, to force you back to him." "That's a lie," Dominic said, but something flickered in his expression. "Is it?" Vincent's smile was sharp. "Ask him, Maya. Ask him what he's willing to do to get what he wants. And then ask yourself if that's the kind of man you want around your daughters." "Leave," Dominic's voice promised violence, "before I make you." "I'm sorry you're caught in the middle of this," Vincent said to Maya, ignoring Dominic. "But your boyfriend isn't the man you think he is. If you want the truth, meet me tomorrow. Alone, I'll tell you everything." He left, but the damage was done. Maya turned to Dominic, her heart pounding. "Did you burn the Velvet Room?" "Maya, did you?" His silence was answer enough. Maya's world tilted sickeningly. "Get out." "Let me explain." "Get out of my home. Both of you, all of you, just leave me alone." She was shaking, tears streaming. "I can't do this. I can't be between you, caught in your war, wondering which one of you is lying and which is telling the truth." "Mommy," Riley's small voice from the bedroom doorway. Both twins stood there in their pajamas, eyes wide with fear. Maya's breakdown stopped immediately. She forced herself to breathe, to smile. "It's okay, Bobbies. Everything's okay." But it wasn't. And as Dominic left with his security team, as Maya double-locked the door and held her frightened daughters, she understood with crushing certainty there was no safe choice anymore. Dominic or Vincent, trust or run, stay or disappear. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. You deserve the truth. Tomorrow noon Millennium Park, come alone, V. Another message from Dominic. I can explain everything. Please don't trust him. Let me protect you. Maya looked at the messages, at her daughters clinging to her, at the security cameras now watching her home. She thought about the velvet room burning, about 5 years of running, about Dominic's cold violence and Vincent's calculated kindness. Tomorrow she would make a choice. Tonight she would hold her daughters and pray she was strong enough for whatever came next. Because in Chicago's neon-lit shadows, between two dangerous men claiming to be her salvation, Maya Carter was learning the hardest lesson. Sometimes there is no right answer. Sometimes there's only survival. And sometimes the only way forward is through the fire, even when you know you'll get burned. If you enjoy this story, kindly subscribe to the channel, comment what you thought, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out. See you in the next part. Peace.